Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Eatbook Vlogs. I'm Hafeez and today we are at the Ramadan Bazaar 2019. And with me, I have none other than Mr.
Stephen, how's it going?
So Stephen, is this your first time at the Ramadan Bazaar?
Yeah, I've heard of it before, but I've never been, so I'm excited to be here.
You've been missing out on a lot, man. So let's go check it out.
Let's go.
First up, we are going to try a few dishes from Beef Bro and Lobster Bro. They have been around in different carnivals, so they are especially known for their blowtorch beef cubes. And recently they have come out with a new flavour, mala flavoured beef cubes.
Should we try it out, bro?
I think so, bro.
Yeah, it looks pretty spicy, man. They give you like a nice handful of beef cubes.
It's a lot of chili oil that's found in most mala dishes.
Are these chili seeds or are they sesame seeds?
I'm not too sure, bro. Why don't you put one in your mouth and...
Sesame seeds.
Sesame seeds,
Bromance.
The flavour-wise, I think it kind of nails the mala taste that I'm used to.
The beef has got like a bit of a chew to it. The spiciness, it's not too much, but you know the spice is there. So if you're someone that can't take too much spice, I think you can still eat this and be okay. It's a good little dish to share with a group of friends.
Or with a bro.
Or a broette. Next up, Lobster Bro.
What's this dish called again?
Lobster.
It's actually called a lobster nasi lemak. As you can see, there's quite a huge portions of lobster, green coloured nasi lemak. There's also anchovies and also peanuts in the dish.
You can tell it's fresh because it has like so much chew and bite to it.
I think now I understand why the taste of the lobster is slightly more towards the neutral side, because the taste of the sambal is actually quite strong. So when you eat it with the lobster, it complements one another well.
You can definitely taste the butter. The owner said they used a lot of garlic butter for it, but I couldn't really taste the garlic. Let's try the rice, man.
The rice that they have in this nasi lemak dish is nice. It's not clumped together. However, the taste of the nasi lemak they're supposed to have is not as strong as I would like it to be.
I like that it has a pandan flavour, and then you got the bite of the anchovies and the crunch of the peanut. My favourite out of the two dishes is definitely the lobster. I feel like the beef cubes is more one-dimensional.
I think I might have to disagree on you on that part. I really like spicy food. I also enjoy the taste of mala.
Can't believe you disagree with me, man. I thought we were bros.
It's good, man. It's
That is Next up,
BURP, Live Station Catering. Nearer to Stephen, we have...
You said my name wrong, man.
Oh, so nearer to Steve, we have the London Lobster Roll. And nearer to myself would be the Laksa Lobster Roll. For a smaller serving size, it's actually $12, but since we added on the Laksa paste, it costs an additional $2.
So it's not exactly cheap, but it is lobster, so you'd expect to pay more. I've always wanted to visit London.
Go. Maybe this is as close as we can get to experiencing London together.
The lobster's got a good bite to it, and you can feel the fibers, so I feel like it's fresh, which is always a good sign with seafood.
In terms of flavour-wise, it's a bit more towards the mild side.
I think the bun is sweet. It's a nice mixture of like savoury from the butter, sweet from the bun, and then you got like the chewy texture from the meat. I wish the meat had a bit more flavour.
So next up, the Laksa Lobster Roll. The Laksa taste is quite apparent in this lobster roll, and it goes well with the sweet bun and also the lobster itself. Actually, Steve, have you eaten a bowl of laksa before?
Yeah.
You tried a bowl? So how do you think it will compare between an original laksa and this lobster roll itself?
I thought the laksa flavour would be a lot more hard hitting. The flavour just sneaks in. The London lobster roll, the flavour wasn't quite there, but I like this because you get like a flavour hit of the laksa.
And it's a very interesting combo of East meets West, the lobster roll, a very Western dish, met with the flavours of the laksa. It goes very well together, I feel.
I would definitely pay the extra $2. The flavour is worth the extra little bit of cash. I just found out the price of the lobster nasi lemak. It's like $22.90.
Yeah, it is.
If I could only get one dish out of the four that we've tried, I think I would definitely get the laksa lobster roll to save money on a next dish.
So you've got to be tactical, especially when we go to bazaars such as this one. That's our ultimate goal, to get as much food as possible.
Let's do it. The next one. Then what's next?
Praffles. It's actually not a waffle, it's actually prata, but it is shaped and molded to look like a waffle.
I like the packaging, so unique. When I was at the store buying it, there was like a whole bunch of people taking a photo with some bloke, and it turns out the bloke's on this sticker. You know who he is?
Yeah, this guy is actually called Hirzi, popular figure in Singapore. So he actually set up this new stall together with Fooditude.
I got the chili crab Praffles, which is $15.90.
I got a curry truffle, which costs $12.90.
The Praffles, it has that texture of butter, but then it's a lot thicker and it's like holding onto a bread.
We've actually topped up an additional $1 to add an egg to the Praffle.
I feel like it changes the texture of the Praffle a little bit. It makes it a little more creamier. The crab is crispy. It's got like the chili crab sauce, which is not too spicy.
The chicken skin is crispy, it's quite juicy, and for the curry flavor, I was quite surprised. It tastes more like Japanese curry.
You mentioned before that when you're at the bazaar, you want a food that you can carry around because you're always constantly on the move.
Okay.
How do you beat this? You just pick your food out of it, just walk around. Good job on the design.
Next on the menu, we have Assam Laksa in a bucket. So it's from the stall called Sofnade. Previously, they are popularly known for their dishes called meatballs in a bucket. So this year, they came out with this dish and it costs $5. So let's take a quick peek inside the bucket. Some chunks of pineapple, sardines or mackerel, noodles, cucumbers.
So I've never had an Assam Laksa before. Yeah, there's a lot going on, lots of ingredients. Hey, it's not bad. Tastes like kimchi jjigae.
Okay, I think the main reason why I'm not a fan of Assam Laksa is due to the sour taste of the soup.
That's what I like about this.
Oh.
The sourness.
So in terms of firmness of the noodles, it's not soggy or
They give you a lot of fish for the serving. You get like the flavor of the Assam Laksa, the sourness and the spiciness, like in the fish as well. So this is the first time I'm trying Assam Laksa, but I've tried Laksa before.
I think the main difference between the normal laksa that we try outside and this Assam Laksa is the base of the soup.
But after a few minutes, the fish leaves like a bit of an aftertaste in your mouth.
Fishy aftertaste.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of that. So I think that takes 1.5 points out of my overall score. But me personally, I'll probably go for the meatballs.
I've given it a try before, and yeah, I definitely prefer their meatballs over this new concept that they are trying out.
If you watched last year's Ramadan Bazaar vlog, you would have seen these guys, Ali, but their concept last year was ribbon fries. Like this year they've totally refreshed their branding and they've gone for brown sugar bubble tea and pancakes.
It's covered in a lot of cream and a lot of bubble tea pearls. The cost of this particular dish is $9.90. And another thing I heard about the pancake, what makes it so special is that it's actually not made from ordinary pancake batter, it's actually tea infused. They kind of deconstructed the idea of milk tea, separated the different elements and came out with this dish.
It's not overly sweet.
It's the pancake. It's quite soft. It kind of dissolves in your mouth.
Brown sugar pearls. I think they're cooked to perfection. It's not too soft. It's chewy, but then there's no little hard bit in the middle of it. What do you think of the cream?
I'd say it's quite sweet. Going together with the brown sugar pearls, which are also sweet, it just makes the whole dish very appealing to those who have a sweet tooth. I would say it's good if you could share it with your friends.
Like the price is a little on the expensive side for what you get and something so unique. I think it's worth at least a try.
Let's keep on. It's called the brown sugar creme brulee. It costs $5.30 for a medium drink and $6.30 for a large drink. So the one that we have in front of us is actually the large size.
They put sugar on the top and then they blow torch it and you get
see the caramelized bits on top.
Yeah.
Apart from that, it looks like a normal bubble milk tea.
A little on the sweet side, but I like the milkiness.
Moving on to the pearls, I feel that it's chewier than the ones we had on the pancakes.
Yeah, if you're up for trying something slightly different, because there's so many like bubble teas and brown sugar bubble teas everywhere, it'll make it like a nice Instagram picture as well because you got that nice crispy.
It's all about the gram, eh?
All about the gram, man. So now we're in the hipster area of the bazaar.
As you can see around us, there's a lot of hipsters around, yeah? There's typical fairy lights, there's wooden crates out of nowhere, and I think I should stop.
This area, with all the little fairy lights and stuff,
Alright.
it looks really nice.
It's much more aesthetically pleasing compared to the area we were at just now.
Yeah.
So for those of you who would like to get an Instagram photo, I would suggest this spot. So first up, we have a dish from the Mala stop. So it's called the All-In.
They literally just put everything all in.
Yeah, what is inside this all-in box is, in terms of the meat, there's seafood, there's chicken, there's beef, and what about the sauces?
Sauce is really unique.
Okay.
It's salted egg and mala.
Both. Inside.
All in.
Oh man, you know how salted egg was a very trending flavor last time, and now it's more of mala.
Yeah.
So what they're doing is essentially combining the current two trending flavors into this one box.
I don't know, just on paper, I don't think the two flavors will mix.
True, it sounds quite exotic.
Yeah,
salted egg mala. There's only one way to find out.
Only one way to find out. So we got this all in, but every other dish that you buy comes with a free drink.
So this and the drink comes for free. and this was $16.90.
Yeah. Or you're buying the drink for $16.90 and you
And it
get
comes
free
from free.
noodles.
Alright, bro. So upon closer inspection, we have yellow springy noodles with all the meats that we described earlier.
Oh yeah.
So let's dig in.
I'm trying to do chopsticks with my left hand.
Oh,
No, it's not working.
go for it. I'll give it a little quick stir. I'm not a hipster, but I can give a quick stir. I feel that the flavor that is more overpowering is the salted egg sauce, right? Can hardly taste the mala.
The slightest hint of chili, like
Yeah.
right at the back of the tongue.
There's not much chili flakes or the mala peppers that we commonly see inside this dish. So it's generously covered in the salted egg sauce though.
If you didn't tell me this was salted egg with mala, I would just think it's a salted egg dish. They're not cheap with the ingredients. It's like jam-packed full of all this.
I can't eat prawns
How come?
unless they are peeled. So
Producer, nah, I'll peel it.
took you a while to get the hint.
I'll be a bro.
I don't have all day.
I take a blame, man. I'm peeling your prawn here. I feel the prawn that we just had, it wasn't the freshest. It's a little powdery, but the sotong and the fish were fresh. So maybe like the quality control isn't the greatest.
Can be more, what do you call it, consistent, I would say.
Yeah.
But apart from that, the chicken and the beef quite tender. So for those of you who are looking to purchase from this stall, maybe we would recommend getting the chicken or beef version instead. So the next thing that we are going to have is from a stall who has also associated himself with being a bro. So I'm sure many of you have seen this brand before, called Broti. So this year what they have done is recently launched a new flavor.
So the flavor is taro. Yeah, it's like a light colored purple.
To add on, one thing I've always liked about Broti is the amount of drink that they always serve is in this huge ass cup, and you can get it at the price of $4. Let's try.
Oh no. Well, I just got a great idea. Did wrong.
I don't think it was a good idea. Well, I have a great idea.
Oh, I have it.
I have... Can't really taste the taro part of it.
The taro flavor comes like at the end. It's like at
It's
the back
more
of
of
the
an
line.
aftertaste instead of a full taste of it, you know? So maybe instead of getting the taro flavor, you all can go and get your other flavors, because I'm sure they serve a lot of different flavors there. So from my understanding, there's tea flavored and there's also like juices flavored. So you can go for it.
Yeah.
So bro,
Yo.
I don't know if you are up to date with the news, but do you know that the white rabbit is nowadays considered an endangered animal?
Oh no.
Yeah, because if you look around, a lot of people are eating it nowadays, man. For example, there's a white rabbit soft serve, there's a white rabbit milk tea, there's a white rabbit milk tea with brown sugar pearls.
What's wrong with these people? Last stop for dessert, we're at Take a Bite.
Oh, should I take a bite now or later?
No. The place is called Take a Bite.
So first up, we're gonna be trying the So the first item that we will be tasting will be the white rabbit soft serve, which costs $6, and we also have with us the white rabbit drink, which costs $3.50.
And I have here the white rabbit brown sugar pearl for $4.30.
What's inside is actually the soft serve itself, cornflakes, and the ever familiar, I don't know if you've seen this before, but it's the wrapping that wraps the rabbit candy. I'll do you the honors of putting it into your mouth.
For the whole thing?
Yeah, just take it.
Actually, it's not plastic. So they actually pour out the soft serve first.
Okay.
And then they put on the white rabbit sauce.
So it wasn't a white rabbit soft serve, like it's more of the sauce on
Two
top of
separate
the...
things. The sweetness of the white rabbit's like strong, it's up there.
No.
So you definitely get that hit of white
Yeah,
rabbit.
it kind of reminds me of the time I used to eat white rabbit candy, which was way back. So it brings back pleasant memories.
It's like in this weather, you can tell it's going to be really refreshing.
Yeah, yeah.
So we move on to the next one.
No.
Let's move on to the next one. Especially after tasting the ice cream, I was expecting it to be like a bigger hit of white rabbit, but it doesn't meet the expectation. It's not as sweet, it's not as strong.
Okay, let's see whether you will face the same situation for the white rabbit brown sugar pearl drink.
It's also good.
Nice. Very chewy. In terms of the drink itself, I think it's very similar to the one that we had here.
The first one tastes a little flat, but this one you got the chew, you got the extra sweetness from the pearl.
Yep.
So this combination I feel works better than this one.
This one, correct.
And if you want like a proper hit of white rabbit flavor, go for the soft serve.
So bro, looks like we've come to the end of our vlog. What are your thoughts?
It was my first time, and they always say you remember your first time. This section that we're in now, I really like the energy about it, like how all the food stalls are in containers. It looks really like hipster, and it's like so photogenic with all the lights and all the jams
Decorations
on
and stuff.
Yeah, the selection of food is mind-blowing. There's like hundreds of stalls here, but my favorite, the standout for me, would be the Prata waffle. The way it's designed, so it's so convenient to eat, and it's like really tasty.
So you mentioned earlier that the Ramadan Bazaar this year has a very hipster feel to it. Yeah, so the concept is actually containers. So it hasn't always been like this. So prior to this, it was more a traditional kind of bazaar with stores all over the place. Okay, it wasn't really conceptualized to this theme that we have this year. Okay, but despite that, I feel that the atmosphere, the feelings and the vibes that everyone here who's attended is giving off hasn't changed actually over the years. That is ultimately the spirit that we are looking for during Ramadan.
What we covered in this episode, like the food stalls, was just like the tip of the iceberg.
Definitely. Thank you for being my companion for the day.
No
So
worries.
because of that, I've actually bought you a present, a gift.
A gift.
Yeah. So for us Singaporeans, we know that no bazaar is complete without the ever famous Ramly burgers. So Mr. Stephen, I will now honor and present you with a beautiful Ramly burger.
I'm honored, man.
So thank you for watching this episode of Eatbook Vlogs.
If you like this video, you can watch more over there. Don't forget to
Like, share and subscribe. Bye!